let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
Stop! That's the signal! Go! Drop
go!
It.
6!
It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by our good friends at Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream this morning at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app all across the country, thank you so much. If you are dialed in on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button, please. Go ahead and give this video a like and start leaving your comments in the comments section. And, of course, you can leave your comments right there and follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Happy Friday, Ross Peterson. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Not much at all. I just got I right as we were getting ready to start the opening of the show, I clicked on a story, and it kind of made me feel good.
Made you feel good?
Well, it made me feel like it brought back, it's like, hey, I'm not alone. Colorado Rockies, their announcer got fired.
Really?
Yeah, Jerry Schemmel. He and I now in rare air together.
Was he employed by iHeartRadio?
Laid off for the second time by iHeartMedia.
Jesus.
I just clicked on it. Colorado Rockies announcer Jerry Schemmel was caught up in the iHeart layoffs for the second time in 5 years. High five, Jerry.
I guess my question behind that is, I always thought the radio announcers for Major League Baseball teams were employed by said teams and not necessarily a network.
Well, again, I don't know what his actual role there. I don't know. I just saw the headline. I was like, oh, been there.
Man.
Yeah.
Things never change, do they? Second time. He's probably thinking, they got me again. I shouldn't have gone back the first time, but they got me again.
And I got a big, we're going to have our weekly woohoo later today, right?
Yep.
Did you see in the chat? Our winner from last week won $25 on the Woohoo prize pack.
Really?
I'm telling you, we're scratching the surface here, folks. Somebody's gonna get like $1,000. Well, somebody's gonna get like 5. Then somebody's gonna get like 10. Somebody's gonna get money that to some of us is like life-changing money. Like not life-changing, but month-changing.
Month-changing.
Right.
And that's why the weekly woohoo from the Iowa Lottery is so cool, because we're giving you a $90 prize pack. It includes scratch-off tickets, includes Mega Million tickets. And I'm glad they said they won, because it lets people know, oh, there are winning tickets out there.
And now Kirk just said, hey, I was the very first winner. The first week, I won $55 on mine.
That's a tank of gas. It's a dinner out.
We're scratching the surface of somebody changing their month.
That's right. And so why should you call in when we do the weekly woohoo? Because you might win. And it's not costing you a thing. All you have to do is call in and tell us, you know, what made you go woohoo this week?
Yeah.
And if you want to do a boohoo, we'll take a boohoo, but we're going to call it the woohoo.
The chat's on fire already this morning because they're killing it. That, you know, $10,000, that's good money. In Iowa, it's good money.
Yeah.
Curt Cignetti, that's life-changing money.
Dude
from Iowa says, hey, winning $55, that's better than losing 10. That's what I did betting on Aaron Rodgers, stupidest thing I've ever done.
Well, was that Aaron Rodgers or was it the Steelers defense? Because the truth is, Aaron Rodgers in the final 2 minutes got the Steelers back on top. Now 2:15 in the National Football League is an eternity, as we learned last night. And we were talking about players and self-awareness and putting your team ahead of self. And T. Higgins is a good example of this last night. Joe Flacco threw a pass to T. Higgins to where he could have scored a touchdown last night. He could have put the Bengals up
with like a minute 20, minute 15, minute 20, which is still a lot of time.
Yes, a lot of time. He's on his way to the end zone. Probably most people in the stadium are going, "Oh man, he's going to score a touchdown." He slides, takes a knee at like the 4-yard line, and a lot of people are going, "Huh?" That's situational awareness. That is putting the team ahead of yourself because you get a first down, and then you run the clock down, kick a field goal up, give the Steelers just one chance on a Hail Mary, which the odds of the Hail Mary coming in. Now, I will give Aaron Rodgers credit. That dude threw it 70 yards in the air and got it to the end zone. You're like, damn, he's still got an arm. But you were talking, Ross, there's a lot of people who have stuff in their contracts that if you score a certain amount of touchdowns or something, you get a bonus. You look at a play like that, you should count that towards that touchdown rate because he essentially won the game for you, right? I mean, he was smart, situational awareness, put the team above self. And the Bengals in the geriatric game last night, because you had Joe Flacco taking on Aaron Rodgers, two just old guys behind center, and it was the Steeler defense that couldn't make a stop. I mean, I don't blame Aaron Rodgers.
Good point. And like we've said for decades, you can't give Joe Flacco and the Bengals a minute 20 to score.
And he had 2:15 to score.
Yeah, he had 2 minutes to score. That's way too much time for Joe Flacco.
Way too much time in the National Football League. Way too much time.
Joe Flacco's had one hell of a career.
I would agree with you.
One hell of a career, man. Not a Hall of Famer, but anything like that. He's never going to be in conversation of greatest of all time or anything like that. But damn, sticks around, gets starting jobs, gets into quarterback rooms, and the coaches go, "He's our best option." Did you see Mike Tomlin's thing about him getting traded and wondering why would you trade your opening day starting quarterback to somebody in your division?
That is a little weird, right?
It's very odd. Very odd. Lots of odd stuff in the world right now.
It is a weird world.
Weird world.
Hey, you did bring up the weekly woohoo from the Iowa Lottery. So let's tell people exactly what they get when we do this in the 7 o'clock hour. It'll be right around 7:10, 7:15. We'll do the weekly woohoo from the Iowa Lottery. This week's prize pack includes a scratch, match, and win ticket, and Iowa blackout scratch tickets, plus Mega Millions free play coupons, all valued at $90. And if you don't win on those tickets, you can use the Play It Again promotion and continue to win prizes like a trip to the Cyclone football game in November and a Hawkeye football game in November. So even if you don't win on your scratch, match, and win or Iowa blackout tickets or the Mega Millions tickets, you still could win beyond that. So that's why you participate in the weekly woohoo. It's that simple. You brought up Curt Signetti. And boy, Indiana acted fast, didn't they? Indiana wasted no time. And I get it. Curt Signetti is impressive. He's 17-2 at Indiana. He's 11-1 against Big Ten competition. And all of a sudden, Indiana, which seemed to have no money 10 years ago, which seemed to have no money 5 years ago, is all of a sudden either swimming in cash or taking on big debt that they're going to have to pay back later on. But Curt Signetti signs an 8-year contract. Basically, what they did is give him a raise because he signed an 8-year contract last year. But they just said, hey, here's a new 8-year deal that's going to take you through 2033. And they're going to pay him $11.6 million annually. Curt Signetti, Indiana, now the third highest paid coach in college football. If you were to say, hey, give me the highest paid coaches in college football, the Indiana head coach would not be on my list a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now, Indiana says, oh, we're a basketball school, but we really want to be a football school. Really, really, really want to be a football school because that's where the money is.
I mean, Trav, you could have gone back and for decades and said, if at any point in the history of college football, would you have said Indiana is going to have one of the highest paid coaches in the Big Ten? In the Big Ten, you would have said, no, it's Indiana. I want to keep hammering home this point, man. It's the people. It's not the money. It's the people. And they got the right guy. They got a guy there that goes, wait a minute, we can win this. We can win right here, right now. Watch this. And so that's when all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, we're that thing of we're a basketball school. Well, they're a basketball school, too. They're throwing a lot of cash at that basketball team to build a squad there as well. They got the right guy. They put the right amount of money into it. I'm constantly in awe of how much money these schools actually have access to. I'm constantly in awe of it. Because Indiana, it was easy when it was like, well, yeah, they really want to win at basketball. So they went and got DeVries, and they put a bunch of money into the NIL to make that basketball team great. Oh, they've also got all these millions laying around to 2 years in a row make sure they lock in their coach because he's the hot commodity. He's the girl with the curl, right? I'm constantly shocked at how much access they have. It's
literally 4 days. 4 days it took him. And he went from $8 million a year to $11.6 million a year. Yeah. What's a more shocking number to you? Because they add up to be about the same. They add up to be the same. When you hear a yearly salary for a football coach at $11.6 million or an 8-year contract at $93.3 million, because that's what it is. What's a more shocking number to you? The 93.3
total. It's when you see the total and you go, wow, holy cow.
Now, you would assume that Curt Signetti is locked into Indiana. I would have believed that. But his buyout goes up to $15 million.
That ain't a lot.
That's not a lot.
And first of all, don't assume he's locked into Indiana. Hell, the reason he got this promotion or the reason he got this raise is because he's not locked into Indiana. If he was locked into Indiana, he would have said, hey, Penn State's calling, and I ain't interested because I'm a Hoosier. Instead, he said, hey, Penn State's calling, and if you want me, you better open up the bank account. And they said, yeah, we need you because you're the guy that can win here. Because we've been looking for decades for a guy that could win here. We didn't think it was possible. Nobody thought it was possible. And then the guy is good for him, dude. Good for him. But again, it's the constant reminder of, man, they got access to cash. They got access to lots and lots and lots of money. And I constantly hear this thing from when I post that stuff, like when they gave James Franklin, the $100 bajillion not to coach. I put out a tweet that's like, hey, remember, these institutions are broke. They're broke. They probably won't survive. And I had Iowa State fans reach out to me and go, not every institution's the same. I get Iowa State's not Penn State, but Iowa State should be pretty freaking close to Indiana.
You would think.
On a football level. On a football scale. And then you hear people go, oh, you don't understand the money at Indiana. You don't understand the money in ag.
Big ag.
Big ag has big bucks. Big bucks. Who's in what? But Indiana. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Indiana, they got access to all the cash. Because they're Penn State. None of it makes sense, man. The world is crazy. The world is so weird. We have to talk about how weird it is.
I mean, for an 8-year deal and Signetti being 64, he might as well have just said, this is the last contract I'm going to sign. Because you get to 2033, it's going to be time to leave. I mean, I know people want to coach long, but, I mean, you get to 72 years old, they're not going to sign you to another 5-year deal. Not going to sign you to another 8-year deal. But good for him for cashing in. I fault nobody for making money. I don't at all. Now, if they fire him without cause, it's a fully guaranteed contract. So there isn't a hey buyout. So let's say he got caught cheating. I'm just throwing that out there as a hypothetical. Well, that would be grounds for fire with cause. Let's just say in the next 2 years, losing records.
They lose games. Yep. Yes. They just lose games, and all of a sudden, they find out he's not the guy. Then
They change the expectations, like for James Franklin, who gets to the college football semis, and then it's just not good enough, and we're going to let you go because of cause. Well, they owe him the remainder of that contract. Don't be surprised, Ross, if Matt Rule is right behind this.
And right behind this, you mean either
Nebraska signs him.
He's announced shortly as the Penn State head coach, or it's announced that he's got an extension at
I think it's going to be an extension at Nebraska. Keep in mind, on Monday he took there and I love my alma mater and said glowing things. Yesterday on Pat McAfee, Matt Rule is like, this is a destination. I'm not worried about this. I just think Troy Dannon is going to the coffers, going to find, hey, what makes sense. Now the truth is, Curt Signetti, in 2 short years, has had more success than Matt Rule at Nebraska. Matt Rule has proved himself. He did it at Baylor, did it at Temple, as a guy who could build a program. But what always happened after year 3 or year 4? He left. We never saw what he could actually do. Could he get to a playoff? Could he win a conference championship? Could he do those things? He's always gotten out of Dodge before he had to follow up on it. So Matt Rule, sure, he builds a program, but we don't know if Matt Rule can take a program to the absolute next level. But he has leverage right now, and that leverage is, well, home might be calling. And they may and Marcus Freeman's in the same boat. Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame has been mentioned as a possible candidate for Penn State. But let's keep in mind, and Penn State fans need to remind themselves of this. And we're all guilty of this when we get on and pontificate in the morning. We think of the biggest names possible. Biggest names. Who are the biggest names possible? Maybe Penn State needs to go full Indiana and go, who's the diamond in the rough? Who is there somebody at the FCS level? Is there somebody in the MAC? Is there somebody that is that people quotient that you talk about that you don't need to go hire the biggest name? Biggest name doesn't always mean success.
Yeah, man, if you are a Penn State, can you get away with that? Indiana, that's kind of what you have to do when you're Indiana and you're looking for your Curt Signetti. And you got to pick a guy that you believe in. If you're Penn State and you just spent $50 million to get rid of the guy that led you to the college football playoff, you got rid of the guy that had you as a perennial top 10 team because you got to win championships. Last guy that there have been really successful FCS coaches that made the jump and haven't had success. I don't know, man. I think if you're Penn State, when they fired him on Monday, I said to you, like, who are they getting? You better have somebody in mind. You better have somebody that you know can be this guy, because it's got to be a splash. If you are Penn State, it's got to be a boom, a headline, like you're not going to believe it. I'm not even sure Curt Signetti would have been that name. I'm
kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I think that if Signetti had gotten the job, there would have been a lot of people that would have been like, well, we'll see. The guy is really good at playing with that chip on his shoulder. That gets you so far. It's supposed to get you so far. We saw that with Iowa. I always thought that was part of Fran McCaffrey's holdup. Fran played with such a chip on his shoulder, and he coached with such a chip on his shoulder that at some point, man, you got to stop being the disappointed or disrespected little brother. You got to say, all right, now we're here. Now we change things, and that I never felt like that was Fran's DNA. Was just was that way. Curt Signetti is that way. Curt Signetti's got a lot of Fran in him.
But he's already won more than Fran did. He's
no doubt about that. I'm just, if he would have made that jump to Penn State, I would have thought to myself, we're going to see. I think Curt Signetti at Indiana makes sense. He's gonna have this sort of success there for a period of time. Who do they get, Trav?
Manny Diaz has been thrown out there. Urban Meyer's been thrown out there. There's been a lot of names.
Dabo Sweeney.
I mean, hell, Dabo's kind of, and the truth is, Dabo may have worn his welcome out at Clemson. I mean, and that happens when you're someplace for a long time. You start to wear out your welcome. James Franklin's a perfect example. 12 years, you've kind of worn out your welcome. People are like, this ain't going anywhere else.
Listen, Ray has some intel for us, and if you want to know how good Ray's info is, we're about to find out. Ray says Brian Ferentz, next PSU head coach. So we'll see if Ray's dialed in or if he's just, could be that he's high.
Might be.
Could be that he's just stirring the pot. I mean, I don't know Ray well enough to know.
One thing about Penn State, what they might find
Ray
out,
stirring the pot.
with Cignetti signing an extension or a new deal, with Matt Rule, I guarantee Nebraska's, I promise you, Nebraska's trying to find a way to keep Matt Rule in Lincoln, but just because it's stabilized the program. Not saying he's going to win national championships. They play tonight against Minnesota. We'll talk more about that later. But there's stabilization and there's a culture shift that works there. They want to keep him there. You wonder if Penn State fans will find out that maybe that job's not as attractive as you think. Maybe it's just not as attractive as what you think.
Really?
I'm just.
Can you maybe sell me on that? Because man, I do see Penn State as that one of those real elite jobs. Like maybe even certainly top 10, maybe top 5 job in the country. Am I crazy with that?
Well, I think now in the Power 5 or Power 4, especially if you're in the SEC, if you're in the Big 10, do you want to switch jobs? Even the Big 12, you look at Matt Campbell, you go, okay, are you better off leaving Iowa State? Now, there's a lot of other factors we don't understand on the backside, but for the most part, all these jobs are really good jobs. You're making really good money.
Yeah.
If you're meeting expectations and you have a happy fan base, you walk into Penn State, are the expectations real? With the parity we see in college football today, if you don't make the playoff every year, are you going to be shunned? Like, we've got to move on. Got to find that next person that's gonna be Nick Saban. That's gonna be Urban Meyer. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there just as an example of, if you're a coach, you're like, okay, I can take the money, but are the expectations really attainable in today's college football landscape?
Somebody said it in the chat. You're going to go to a place that fires a guy 5 games in after doing what he did last year. This is what Nebraska fell into. And you made this comparison yesterday about this. Like, hey, man, I've seen this play out. I've seen teams say, oh, yeah, you're not good enough. We need the absolute best. And then it takes a decade or more of trying to figure out and get your culture right again.
It took Nebraska 20-plus years.
Yeah.
20 years.
And again, now the bar is just different. The bar now is stability. The bar now is just, please hang out here. Hang out here. Don't be an embarrassment and make it and help us level this thing off for a bit. Dude, is Penn State the thing that, Travis, when you talk about like Matt Campbell and you're making really good money. You're making really good money in the community that you're living in. You've got a family. I think a lot of times as sports fans, we just see the superficial part of it. Like, oh my God, you get to be the Penn State coach and make $1 bajillion a year. Who wouldn't want that job? Well, somebody that's got young kids and a wife. And the kids have friends, and the wife has a community of people, and you like your boss. Dude, when we had bosses that liked us, that's worth something. Like, you are excited to go to work and work with the people you work with, and that has value. And then when that doesn't happen, when all of a sudden those people aren't there, and you work with people you don't like, you go, So maybe there is something to it, dude. Is it as good of a job as my brain thinks it is, just because it's Penn State?
100%. 100%. No, it's a good job. I mean, it's a great job. It's a great job. Yes, 100%.
Yes. Will you have the resources you need?
Yes.
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 Okay, but the expectation is enough, and I'm thinking of it out loud here. The expectation is enough to make a guy like Curt Signetti turn back to Indiana. And if you are a Penn State fan, I do think you're right, Trav. You got to look around and go, we can't get the Indiana coach?
We can't, and I'm not going to. I'm working off the assumption that Matt Rule is going to stay at Nebraska. We can't get a guy who's a graduate of Penn State to have the pull to come home. I'm just saying, when you start doing this early, and here's the downside of
that. This is a good point. I see where you're going with this.
When you start firing guys early, Usually when you fire somebody, the turnaround's pretty quick at the end of the season.
You've got your guy ready to go.
You've got your guy ready to go. You kind of have this in place. You start doing this week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. You give no coach is going to leave their program if they're winning in the middle of the season. Then you give a university plenty of time to find the resources, make the promises, and up the ante to say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go anywhere. This is why Curt Signetti had all the leverage. Matt Rule's got all the leverage. And they're going to be like, hey, I like it here. I'm not walking into a shitstorm. I get to stay right where people love me. And until they don't love me, I have no problem cashing checks at $22,000 a month or whatever that is. Or $22,000 a day or Trav, whatever.
And the longer that you sit out there and you swing and miss. I mean, if it's announced today that Matt Rule has an extension, now you're 0 for 2.
Without even knowing whether or not you went after him.
Right. And so for Penn State, it's a lose-lose situation because if Matt Rule, and maybe you didn't reach out to Curt Signetti. Maybe you didn't reach out to Matt Rule. And these guys are cashing in on it, but it's the perception that, oh my gosh, people would rather stay at other Big Ten universities than Penn State. People would rather, not even other Big Ten universities. Indiana.
I get Nebraska. I get why you'd want to stay at Nebraska.
Right. You got history. You've got all sorts of support, and the expectations were really high. They're not there. Not that way anymore. Indiana. So, what does it mean going forward for them? Because the third call you make, even if it's the first call you make, that guy's going to go, yeah, I heard you already asked 2 girls to homecoming. They told you no.
I need a date. But there's always somebody with a big enough ego to go, I can do this. I can do this.
But again, there's going to be somebody that's going to go, yeah.
And as we learned in the Iowa situation, when Kirk Ferentz was hired, people were pissed it wasn't Bob Stoops. Let's go back to that.
I did not know who Kirk Ferentz was.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that, instantly it was like, oh, he was an assistant under Hayden Fry. Oh, cool. That's cool. Hope he does well, but I'd never heard of the guy. I'd never heard the name Curt Cignetti. And he wins. Maybe that's it, dude. Maybe what you do here is I don't even know. Going to be interesting to watch.
Very, very much so. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Don't forget, coming up around 7:15, it's the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo with a prize pack, including a scratch match and win, and Iowa Blackout scratch tickets, plus Mega Millions free play coupons, a prize pack valued at $90. And of course, if you are heading over to Iowa City for the game tomorrow, make sure to stop by Central City Liquors because they have everything you need. And Brian's kind of teased us. There's going to be some changes coming up at Central City Liquors, so I'm anxious to hear what he's actually saying about that. And we're going to have him on. More than 165 single malts, 130 tequilas, 50-plus bourbons on hand. They stock mixers, wines, spirits, beer, seltzers, everything you need. Central City Liquors, 1460 2nd Avenue in Des Moines. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food? Doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room. All Iowa beer. One amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff. You can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
This is Darcy at Willis Chevrolet. When's the last time that you got new tires? From now till the end of November, we are offering buy 3 tires, get 1 for $1. Our extreme savings. Also, if you sign up for a GM credit card, you can get another $250 off the price of the 4 tires. So it's a win-win. Give us a call today, and we can price you a set of 4, or visit us online to set up an appointment at willischevy.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. It is Friday. Normally on Friday, we have Tyler Kluver joining us at 7:30. Just got a text from Kluver. He goes, I got 2 sick kids at home, man. I gotta bail out.
Totally fine, brother.
Come
totally
on, be
fine.
a gamer, man. Be a gamer. Be a gamer. Take one for the team. Put kids down and say.
You sent me a rundown. We got plenty to talk about for
No, we do. We do. Yeah. I just like giving him a hard time. But Tyler Kluver will be joining Ross Peterson tomorrow on the Black and Gold Rush. Right after the Iowa-Penn State game, which is at Kinnick Stadium, and that's live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. So again, the Black and Gold Rush with Ross and Tyler Kluver tomorrow. I'm going to be dressing up. I'm dressing up as Charlie Brown. I'm gonna be Charlie Brown tomorrow, Ross. So
have fun with it.
Wearing my costume. Yeah, thanks. Have fun with that. You had
I'm thinking this year I'm going to go as Winnie the Pooh. I'm just going to throw on a red T-shirt that ends at my belly button and call it good.
That's not a bad costume.
I mean, it'd get me arrested, but
why would it get you arrested?
Travis, I'm going to say it again one time slowly.
Yeah.
I'm going to dress up as Winnie the Pooh. I'm just going to wear a red T-shirt that ends at my belly button and nothing else.
Yes, that would get you arrested. I was, I automatically my brain says, well, you got pants on too, so you just. But no, you're just.
No, dude, I'm Donald Duck in this thing.
Donald ducking this thing. Oh God. Max Scherzer on the hill last night for Toronto went 5 2/3. Gave up a home run early, but Ross, he was serviceable, did what he needed to do. Gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, struck out 5. What is it with the geriatrics in sports these days, right? We had Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers last night. We had Max Scherzer on the hill last night for Toronto, who's evened this thing up now at 2 games each against Seattle.
Yeah.
And they found offense. Vlad went, hit another home run last night.
Yeah, and by the way, the Dodgers went up 3-0.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Who cares?
It's over. When they lost those first 2, I thought it feels like that one's already in the can. But Toronto can make this thing a series, and Toronto's done that. Dude, that was fun to see Scherzer. Like, he's always burned hot, but that was fun to see, dude. That was fun to see him on the mound, dealing like that. And I didn't realize that was the first postseason start he'd had. I mean, when I saw him last night, I was like, oh, I didn't realize he hadn't started for the Blue Jays yet this postseason.
Okay, I was like, first postseason. Oh, I thought you meant this
Not
year. Okay,
career.
yeah.
No,
I'm like, let me go back and correct you, man. Are you sure about that?
No, because again, I just, I guess one of those things where I just kind of thought he had. I don't know when it would have been or why, but thought he'd already had to start. This is his first one. It was fun to see him get out there and deal like that. And
do you think, and I don't know what's in a manager's head and the whole, what goes into a pitching rotation, but do you think it's one of those things, you know what, he hasn't started, but damn it, he's been in this position. I'll take if we can get 5 2/3 out of him, do I want him in a situation? I mean, because you're still down 2-1 last night, right? I mean, you need a win last night to get this series to where it needs to be. Is it like you give us 5 2/3, you give us 6 innings, and we got the lead? That's what I want. But it's that bulldog mentality. I think they came out and talked to him. They're like going to pull him. He goes, no, not yet.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm not ready to go.
5th or 6th inning, right?
Yeah,
they came out and looks at the coach. He says something like, "I'm good.
Get out of here."
Yeah, basically.
I'm Max freaking Scherzer, all right?
Yeah.
I know you're going to have to pull me eventually, but now is not it.
Yeah. Well, neat to see. I don't think we're seeing some sort of revival of the geriatrics, how you put it, or something. This stuff happens from time to time, and it's good to see him. That was fun to see. Fun to watch him be able to deal like that. Glad to see Toronto make this a series. And now you got to have a lot of confidence. This is exactly what I was talking about the other night, man. You win that second one on the road, and now you got to feel like, okay, now we're going back home. We're going to win this thing in Toronto.
Then you have a Toronto, Los Angeles World Series. A little sexy, but not enough to go, God,
Who are you rooting for in that? Right. There's the problem.
Yeah, neither.
There's the problem. I'd ask any of our listeners, who are you rooting for in that?
We had Justin Miller. Justin Miller filled in for you on Monday.
Tuesday.
He's like, or Tuesday. I'm a Toronto fan. I go, how are you a Seattle Seahawks fan and a Toronto Blue Jays fan? Well, my dad was around when they came in the league in 1978. So I just kind of adopted the Blue Jays.
Yeah, because Justin would have been. Justin would have still been a glint in his dad's eye when Joe Carter was pumping his fists around the bases. Huh. I love that. That's the right answer. Who are you rooting for in a Blue Jays Dodgers World Series? Coach Hersom says the asteroid. That's good.
He's not wrong, though, right?
I seriously don't know how I would answer that question. I don't care to watch the Dodgers win again. So maybe Toronto?
Because I don't hate the Dodgers. It's not that I'm a Dodger fan. I've got plenty of friends that are Dodger fans. But I guess when you watch a sporting event, so if you were watching the Steelers-Bengals last night, are you watching just because you want to watch football? Or do you have a little, even if you're not a fan of that team, but do you have a little vested interest in it? So if the World Series comes up and it is the Dodgers and it is the Blue Jays and you have zero vested interest in it, is that, I got to watch the World Series because it's the World Series?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's fair.
I'll be honest. That's why I was watching baseball last night. I mean, I love it. I love it. But that the end of that Brewers-Dodgers game.
But are you watching baseball last night, like getting up your seat, going, okay, I'm gonna, or is it just, I'm doing how? Okay, we got to strike out.
I'm doing stuff.
Work around the house.
Mookie Betts made an incredible play in the 9th inning, playing shortstop, going to his
what
right
they say,
side.
I think the headline in Sports Illustrated or CBSSports.com, he channeled like his inner Kobe when he made the play at.
I don't know why they
would
call that Kobe. That's a Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia Parra. I think when a guy is going to a shortstop is going towards the third base line, backhands the ball, does the jump throw across the diamond. I mean, I know that a lot of players have done that. Some maybe, if you're older, you think of Ozzie Smith doing that, or Sean Dunston. To me, it's a Derek Jeter, but again, that's the Yankee fan in me that watched that a lot. Great play, and that's not, again, that's, you nailed it, Travis. The 9th inning of that game last night, I'm doing other things. The game is on. I'm looking up from time to time. If I miss a play, I hit the back button a couple times, watch the play, and then back to live.
And this is where maybe fandom has changed. It's not fandom, but it's not, as Johnny actually says, I'm watching because I have bets.
Yeah, Johnny's probably, the majority of folks that are watching are probably in that boat right there, Johnny. Not the majority, but a huge portion.
But it does motivate you to watch because you got a little skin in the game at that point. You're like, okay, I've got a bet going here. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, good win by the Blue Jays last night. Again, 8-2, and that series is tied at 2 games each. Are you surprised with the Brewers falling down 3-0? Or, I mean, you're talking about the best team in the National League. They didn't lose, I believe, to the Dodgers all season long.
Man, that's wild. That's wild. Am I surprised by it? I don't think I am, dude. I don't feel surprised by the Dodgers beating them. And maybe it's just, again, because on paper, the Dodgers are supposed to be the best team in baseball. And so when it gets to be this time of year, I fall into that thing. Oh, yeah, of course. I'd love to see the Brewers make this a series. Man, imagine if they could get a win would be good. Get a couple and force this thing back to Milwaukee would be really cool. I don't see it happening. It just doesn't feel that way. Watching the games, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like the Brewers are the inferior team, and I know they're not. They've showed throughout the season they're not.
But there is a difference between the regular season and the postseason, meaning the Dodgers have been in this position. And there is something about that postseason mentality that, hey, we've been here before. We know what we're doing here. We know how to handle this situation because it is a situational there is pressure there.
Trav, especially in baseball. And I should. It seems to play out this way more in baseball, where a team has to hit benchmarks. First thing you got to do is be a playoff team. Look at the Reds. Look at the Reds. You can't go into a season after a horrible year and go, okay, we're going to be the World Series champions because we got some young players. That ain't the way it works. Look at the Cubs. Look how the Cubs won the World. The Cubs did not win the World Series the first year they had all those guys in the first. You're a playoff team. Then you make it to the NLCS, and that pressure gets to be a little bit too much for you. Then you make it to the World Series. Oftentimes you lose a World Series before you come back the following year or in that frame of success, and you win one finally. And I think that's what's happening with the Brewers right now, is that they are just hung up on that tier. They're right there. And it, again, just the feel of it, you watch it and you go, well, that's not the World Series team.
If you had to rank it by sports where that postseason mentality has the biggest play. I mean, so let's throw the 4 big ones in there. Let's throw baseball, basketball, football, and hockey in there. If you had to rank where you think that postseason experience, that feel comes into play, how would you rank those?
Baseball and hockey.
Ooh, hockey, number 2, huh?
And then NFL, and then a distant 4th is NBA.
That's fair. That's
just my knee-jerk reaction to it. I could be swayed on all of it. And again, I'm probably doing more of that on just the feel of the intensity of those playoff series. Hockey has that edge of your seat thing.
Yeah, because I don't think you and I are tied to either any NHL team. But you're right. When playoff hockey comes around, especially the Cup, you are like, oh, I gotta watch this.
Yeah. John, who's a big golf guy, this is a good point, dude. John says it's by a long way, it's golf.
But I didn't give you that option.
I understand you didn't, but let's throw it into the mix here, because if you're talking about that thing of you got to find yourself good enough to compete. Then you got to find yourself good enough to compete at the elite level. And then those elites, there's levels to this shit, right? And then you got to get up here and you got to get through 16, 17 and 18 to close the deal. Dude, I can't imagine that. I'm so bad at golf anyway. I just couldn't. I've never hit a shot in my life that had actual pressure on it. I mean, the most pressure I've ever had is when the group behind you rolls up on the tee box and you got 4 strangers watching you.
You're like, can you guys hurry up?
You. They're not even watching you. They're having their conversation and doing their fireball shots and whatever, and you're up there going, this feels like the Masters. I can't imagine that. Did you see, by the way, the guest that we had on, we had my buddy Jeff Johansson join us to talk about boys state golf. Did you see his son won the state tournament?
I saw that in a text message that you guys were going around. That didn't he hit a putt like on the last?
Dude, did you see the putt he hit to win?
Was that a downhill?
It's about a
break left.
I don't understand the math of it, dude. It's a 3-foot putt that breaks 4 feet.
So he knows how to read a green. That's good.
And he sinks the putt to win the state tournament. And then I didn't realize this, that last year, if I read the story correctly, or if I understood the story correctly, last year he basically had a similar type of situation, but he missed it. So imagine what was going through that young man's head in that moment. I'll never hit a golf shot with weight like that, and it's just starting for this young man. Like that was this thing for him, and he's got the potential to eventually get up into that really rare air. Young kids in golf, dude.
Well, you're seeing it. I mean, Eli's playing it. I mean, it's just
but Eli.
But what I'm saying is, it's the influx of young kids in golf.
And that was, dude. It was in our house. It was, Dad, I don't like playing football. I'm playing offensive line, and I don't. It's not fun.
He's not built for offensive line.
No,
first of all,
he's tall and skinny. He's 6'1" and 150 pounds. And they got him on offensive line, and he's like, "This sucks. I don't like this game." I said, "Okay, well then you got to do something. Go do free golf. You're never going to get a chance to get free golf. Go do it." And so my son is he's on the other end of the spectrum of doing it for something to stay busy, stay out of the house, not annoy the coaches or the good players on the team that are actually competing. And that, and then he got hurt in a wrestling practice this summer, and that ended the golf season.
Though at 6'1", 150 pounds, I got to believe his wingspan is pretty good. Meaning, if you keep him on that golf track, he might start driving the hell out of the ball. If he can straight.
And when he gets older, I'm sure he'll be able to, and he's got a little baseball swing to him. When he connects with it, he hits it far. Dude, so I was texting with some of my buddies that are golfers about Johansson's kid, saying, "Hey, man, check this. This is awesome." One of my buddies writes to me and says, "That kid bombs the ball. Like 370. Huh?
Are we all capable of that, or no? Is that just a God-given talent?
That's a God-given talent.
If I went to Golf Tech, if I went to my club pro and said, "Hey, I need some lessons. Can you get me 280 off the tee?"
Maybe,
because right now, if I get one 220 straight down, I'm like, oh, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that they could get. I think with the right equipment, with the right swing coach and things like that and enough time, you're getting above 250. Are you going to get another 120 yards out of that?
No.
Never. It's not in you. I'm sorry. And that's okay. That's okay. You've got talents that he won't have, Trav, okay? It's okay.
You mentioned something earlier, and this is just throwing a random thing out there, that you've never hit a golf shot under pressure, where it meant something, right? And I fall into your category. If I've ever chipped in off the green, it's just, my playing partner said there was nothing. If I hit a putt, it was just pure luck, right? Where there was never a skin on the game. Is there a sport or an activity that you have hit something under pressure? You're like, oh, the pressure's on, I've got to deliver.
I actually, one just came into my head, and ironically, and this is going to sound silly in relation to winning a state golf tournament or winning anything, but every year I play in the Kevin Lundberg Pins and Aces golf tournament. It's my buddy's birthday golf tournament where just a bunch of us get tee times and play as pairs. On what used to be 17 at, or rather 16 at Toad Valley Golf Course. It's a par 3. All of my buddies, my friend and I were in the last group, all my buddies are up on the hill watching from the tee box of 17. And Travis, I drop this on a par 3. I drop my tee shot within a foot and a half of the cup. Foot and a half. Yeah, beautiful shot. One of the closest I've ever come to a hole-in-one. And now I've got to go up there and hit that birdie putt with all of my buddies watching. I missed it. I missed it. And that wasn't, again, what were we playing for? Fun stuff, bragging rights. There's no real money on the line. There's no, you know what I mean? I'm playing for bragging rights with my friends, and I choked that.
Where I have performed under pressure is darts. For some reason,
really,
yeah. I mean, I'm not a great dart player, but when I play somebody my own caliber, or you give me in a game of cricket, give me a game of 301, I get pretty competitive, and you get down. I've delivered in those moments, but nothing. I've never hit a game-winning shot. I've never hit a putt that mattered for a skin.
I laid down a bunt in a sophomore game that won a game one time. Like walk-off fashion, right? Laid down the bunt, got to first, we won the game. Everybody came over, patted me on the helmet. I felt like I was part of the team.
That a boy, Ross. That a boy.
That was it. It was like sophomore baseball.
But you know what? You have that memory. And you delivered under pressure. Because you are a master bunter. All starts with bunting. Lay 5 down before you can take full batting practice.
Dude, 370 yards. I need 3 shots. Because I can hit it that far in 2 shots, but it's not going to be in the fairway.
I mean, 370, you're driving the greens on, if you're at Grandview, I mean, there's probably par 4s that are 370.
Oh, yeah. You're not able to pull out the driver on a lot of par 4s.
Can't even.
You
think you need 4 shots to get 370? Sometimes.
3. I need
3. Okay, well, I'm going to let you know. If I've got a 370-yard par 4, I'm probably taking a double, if not a triple bogey, just to finish the hole out.
Yeah. Yeah. See, distances in golf are also the reason why I don't ever tell people what club I'm hitting. It's like, your buddies get up there and his guy he looks at the thing and he's like, all right, it's 185. And you'll have a guy that's like, all right, that's a 7-iron for me. And you have a buddy that's like, okay, that's a 4-iron for me. Ross, what club are you hitting? I say, my 185.
Which is the same club you hit all the time off the tee.
That's a 3-wood. That's a 3-wood. Because I can't hit my 4-iron that far.
I could hit my 4-iron 185.
Okay. Well, good for you.
If I connect correctly.
You know what club I hit 185? My 185.
You're 185.
Yeah.
But you know what? Where we are at, 185, times 2, I mean,
I'm there with the best, baby.
And that's all that matters. 185. Oh, I'm going to use my fairway wood here. Which one is that? My 185 club.
Yeah.
And if I'm 175 out, 165, I'm just going to choke up a little and do a half swing on my 185 club. Yeah. It is interesting how, and we're all guilty of this. Maybe not really good golfers, but how we are able to manipulate our favorite club to justify using it in almost any situation.
The one that feels right.
The one that feels right.
Yeah.
It just feels good in my hand. Choke up, half swing. Mm-hmm. What are you chipping with there? Well, my 185 club.
Same one I teed off with. Why? I like the grip. I don't know.
So I've never been a part of these, but I've seen them where it's a one club round, right? You get to pick one club to play the entire. Would you pick your 185 club?
Yeah. I have this one club. I mean, not anymore because this thing has kind of failed me lately. But I had this club for a long time. It is it's a Cobra, and it sounds like a Batman villain. Okay, because it's called the Baffler. My buddy BJ came up with that. He's like, that thing sounds like a Batman villain. Oh, I'm the Baffler. And I hit the thing well. I hit it about 185 straight. Feel good about it. Now, this last year, it's failed me a lot. So I need to figure out something else there. But again, dude, you know what I have discovered, honestly, these last couple of weeks? I love fishing so much more than golf. I like golf. I love being out with my buddies. It's so much fun to go out there and you get 4 hours of being with your friends and having fun conversations and joking around. And by the way, you're playing this game that's kind of challenging and fun, and that's a lot of fun. Dude, when I'm fishing, I'm just in my happy place all the time. And I look around and I go, oh, this is free.
Besides the license I paid for, this is free.
The $35 for the license for the year is a hell of a lot better than the $85 a round.
Besides the bait I paid for, besides the new lures I paid for, nothing's free. But I know exactly what you mean. Don't forget that here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our families, and provides homegrown, clean-burning, unleaded 88 for our vehicles. Pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org. Coming up in hour number 2, the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo. Your chance to win a $90 prize pack, and as we've heard from our listeners today, even more money if you win with those $90 prize pack tickets. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, zero sugar, zero caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Trick or treat, candy to eat, get your car some brand new feet. Until the end of October, you can buy 3 tires and get 1 for $1. And we're also still doing our $25 off battery install. Scary good deals. All those treats, and you don't even need to show up with a joke. Give us a call or head online to willisinfinity.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the Natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Friday, everybody. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube today, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Also, give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, hell, if you want to share the video, that'd be great, too. Share it with your friends who may not have seen or listened to this show before. Follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We're here till 8 o'clock today. Again, the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo coming up in a matter of minutes. Your chance to win a $90 prize pack from our good friends at the Iowa Lottery. And that also includes a chance to go see a Cyclone game or a Hawkeye football game. We'll talk a little bit about the Hawkeyes coming up around 7:30 as they take on Penn State this weekend, tomorrow night. Iowa said it's the last night game of the year. So I always thought they did some of those in advance, but if in the game notes it said in its last night game of the year, I'm like, really? Okay, that's cool. Give me 11 o'clock games. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, right. Give me 11 o'clock games all day long, man. I'll be taking those 11 o'clock games. You do have a Big Ten game tonight, Ross. It's going to be interesting. You got Nebraska going to Minnesota, and Nebraska is 5-1 overall, 2-1 in the Big Ten. Minnesota is they got blown out by Ohio State. Nebraska's 7.5-point favorite in this game. I don't know if this is a measuring stick game for Nebraska, but it's one of those. Last year they were 5-1 at this point, and then struggled down the stretch. So we were talking about that mentality of how you have to take that next step. We were talking about when you get the playoffs, you may not get to that. This might be one of those steps of can Nebraska get over that hump to that 6th win, and then they got Northwestern, USC, UCLA, some tough games ahead. But we talked about
those are the metric games right there.
Yeah, those would be the metric games.
Yeah, and this is a can't lose for Nebraska. So therefore a must win, because if you lose this one, that can feel like, oh crap, if we can't beat Minnesota. Northwestern just went out and has played really well. Those other teams coming up on the schedule are better than Minnesota. Got Iowa looming at the end of the year, is playing good football right now.
I want Nebraska
not a must-win in the face of the things we usually talk about of to keep your playoff hopes alive, everything like that. No, in order for the fan base not to really question where Nebraska is, because they lose tonight, Trav.
100%.
Like Matt Rule hasn't done it yet.
No. And he's been known for those third-year turnarounds. Did it at Temple with double-digit wins. Did it at Baylor. And I get it. If you don't win tonight, that changes the narrative of the way you're able to turn around a program. Yeah. I want Nebraska to win for a number of reasons. But number one is this. And I'm looking long-term. We have a hell of a clash that could mean a lot between Iowa and Nebraska at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, I think to enhance the rivalry instead of having corporations pay for a trophy, what makes the rival really good when something's on the line at the end. You get to the last game of the year, and you have Iowa at 11-2 at that point, or 9-2 at that point. Nebraska be 9-2, and you go in there with a chance to go 10-2. Both teams at that point, you might be able to say, have a chance at the college football playoff at that point. I know
possibly. Depending on how things play out, Trav, I don't think that's crazy to say.
No,
that you'd be talking about teams fighting for that 4th, 5th position in the Big Ten right there. That's not crazy to think that could play out that way. I mean, and again, part of that, so many things that would have to fall. One of those things is Iowa State. If Iowa State can turn it around, get winning. And then all of a sudden, that loss is against a really good Iowa State team, which I think it is. Indiana continues to do Indiana things.
Yeah.
I think those things absolutely help. I don't think that Iowa's going to be a playoff team. I don't think they are.
I'm with you, but if both teams are 9-2 or 9-2 going to that game,
adds to the intrigue. Big
yes. And that's what you want. You want to be in that conversation at the end. And you're right. There are things, because Iowa's not even ranked yet, right? I mean, now if they beat Penn State tomorrow, do they get into the top 25? Nebraska's ranked 25. So there would be that.
I did not know that Nebraska. I saw that in the chat, and I didn't. Nebraska's ranked 25th.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but that'd be an interesting game. And if Nebraska wins tonight, let's say, and Nebraska hasn't blown teams out. They've actually had really close. I mean, the Michigan game was close. Michigan State game was close. Rutgers, or the games they've played have been close. But let's say Nebraska wins tonight. They're favored by 7.5. Does the PJ Fleck? Do people start going, Do Minnesota fans care enough about their coach, or are they into or are they like, hey, it's pretty stable. We know our place in the college football world. He wins, maybe not enough. We might be on that every 3 to 4 years, 5 years, be a really good team, average team, or do people look around and go, I'd say be careful. Whether you like PJ Fleck personally and his attitude and the way he does things, I'd say be careful. Look at Wisconsin, because PJ Fleck's never lost a bowl game at Minnesota, has never lost a bowl game. He's had you in bowl games pretty much every year. The sake of making a change just for making a change is not the best way to do it, because Wisconsin's living the reality right now. Nebraska lived the reality for 20 years.
Man, Trav. I think your second question was the best question. Do Minnesota fans care enough? I don't think they do.
I'm with you.
I don't think they care enough to say, all right, PJ Fleck ain't the guy. They look around, they go, you know what? He's got a fun story. He's got a fun attitude. He keeps us entertained. It keeps the team competitive.
Doesn't embarrass us for the most part.
Doesn't embarrass us. That's a good way to look at it.
Sure, the shtick gets old every once in a while, but we can live with it. We don't even sell out our stadium for most games. I guarantee you watch that game, even when they're good, they have a hard time putting 40,000 people in a brand new stadium. I guarantee you watch tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more Nebraska fans at that stadium than Minnesota fans. So you go, does the fan base care enough to go, we're sick of this?
The better question is, what happens if Nebraska loses?
Well, if Nebraska loses, Matt Rule sure as hell ain't going to get the Penn State job, and Troy Dannon goes, I can save a little money here. This contract extension is not going to be as big as we want. Trust me, you know how many Penn State fans are going to be watching that Nebraska-Minnesota game tonight? Just because they're like, this might be our next coach. We got to watch this. It's national television.
Yeah, that's you've piqued my interest for this game tonight, Trav. I mean, I was interested in anyway, just because of it's two Iowa opponents that I'm going to be able to watch, and I always enjoy doing that. I think that this does add some intrigue, and I love chaos.
You do love chaos.
And so the most chaotic thing that could happen would be Minnesota pulls off an upset tonight.
I would agree with you. That would to me that would be an upset. You have Nebraska; it's ranked 7.5 point favorite, and Nebraska's wearing the all whites tonight, as my good friend Dr. Rob says. Because why throw up the white flag? Why do you do that? It's the surrender pose. But so that'd be an intriguing game tonight, and just to watch. If fans in Minnesota, if they were to lose, just
do
start
they
the
care
chirping.
enough to even care? What a great way to. I don't know. I don't know if we'll find out. I think because I do think Nebraska wins the game tonight, and I don't think it moves the needle at all on the PJ Fleck thing. They seem to be happy with him. They don't seem to be seeking out their Curt Signetti.
He might be their Curt Signetti.
Dude from Iowa put a thing on the chat earlier, said it still gives me shivers that when I ask AI who's the best fit to replace Kirk Ferentz,
it says PJ Fleck.
It says PJ Fleck.
Do you think 80s do that? Go, hey, ChatGPT, who's the best fit to replace my head coach? And use that as their short list.
You know, Trav, when maybe, and I wouldn't fault them for doing it. When I am pricing a house for somebody, all right, and I use as many different metrics as I possibly can to get a feel. And none of them I take as gospel. You know, I don't look at any one number and go, oh, okay, this is where the house has to be priced. You take in as much information as you possibly can. And I think that the artificial intelligence is smart, and it can give you some ideas for some things. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't depend on it for everything. You should fact check stuff. You could look at it. I don't think that's a bad move for an athletic director to say, okay, I've got my ideas. I'm going to
let me double check them.
Let me double check, and maybe there's another name that comes in. You go, oh, I never thought about this guy. Or
what I'd like to know when you put that in there, what algorithm, formulated model is it using to come up with said answers?
Well, it's just pulling information off the internet. It's just finding, it's just using those words that you've put in as the prompt. And sourcing those at a rapid pace through all sorts of different Google searches, essentially. I mean, in a simplified way to put it.
But it still has to give a recommendation, right? I mean, because
it's very intuitive, so it can take that thing, but it's just going to take a sea of information and try to put it into a couple of drops for you. Oh, Coach Hersom, don't ask that. He says, hey, AI, should I listen to the Rush radio show every morning? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
should be in the chat. Lots of fun stuff happening in the chat. You should like and subscribe. That helps us.
Oh, it is time for the Iowa Lottery.
You act surprised by it even when you hit the button. Yeah,
I get really excited. 515-517-2303. It is time for the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo, celebrating 40 years of fun here in 2025. So call now to tell us something that made you go woo-hoo, and we'll even take a boo-hoo, and you can win an Iowa Lottery prize pack. This week's prize pack includes Scratch, Match, and Win Iowa tickets, Iowa Blackout Scratch tickets, plus some Mega Millions free play coupons. It's a prize pack valued at $90. Now, when you call in, there will be an AI voice that prompts you to give us your name and information. A couple things is, I'm going to write down your number. I'll get a hold of you afterwards. You do need to live in the state of Iowa, so they can't send things outside the state of Iowa. So you do need to be an Iowa resident, and you need to be 21 years of age. 515-517-2303. Let's go to the phones. Who's this?
This is Ray.
Hey, Ray. What's up?
I found out last weekend I'm going to be a grandfather for the first time. Woo-hoo, I think.
Wait, he said I think. What do you mean?
Well, when I was growing up, my grandfathers, both of them, wore their slacks up around their rib cage, farted a lot, and the dentures fell out. Is that what I got to look forward to?
No, you can be the grandpa you want to be. You can be the grandpa you want to be.
I mean, Ray, look at Travis. You don't have to be like that.
Dick.
What a dick.
No, not you. No,
Yeah,
not you.
That's what I do. That's me. That's me. Ray, congratulations,
That's
man.
my woohoo, guys.
I love it, buddy. Congratulations on that.
Hey.
And man, being a grandpa, that's a really, really cool thing. Really cool. Congratulations to you. I loved seeing my parents be grandparents. I'm the youngest in my family, so it happened with my sister first, then my brother, and both of them had said to me, hey, this really neat thing happens when you have a kid. When you take the kid over to mom and dad's house, mom and dad aren't mom and dad anymore, and you see it. Abigail's experiencing it these last couple weeks with Aunt Jeanette.
Absolutely.
It's not her mom there anymore. It's Sutton's grandma. And it's totally different. Ray, you'll have a whole different aura. You won't even know it. You'll have a whole different aura around that baby than you do around your own kids. And it's a magical thing to see. So I'm really happy for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, thanks for sharing it with us, buddy.
Thanks, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right. 515-517-2303. Got another phone call coming in, so we'll wait for that to get screened. Again, keep your phone calls coming. A $90 prize pack. Remember, if you don't win on these scratch, match, and win tickets, if you don't win on the Iowa Blackout or Blackout tickets, you can still win by entering your non-winning tickets into your Iowa Lottery VIP account, and you have until October 20th at 10 o'clock in the morning to enter for a Cyclone football promotion, which will take you to the Arizona State game, or a Hawkeye Blackout promotion, which will take you to the Oregon game. So there's definitely a chance to win here. 515-517-2303. Let's go to, is this Jay?
Yeah, this is Jay.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
I actually have two, guys. What's going on?
Not much.
I actually have two. My first one is my oldest turned 18 yesterday, so I kept the kid alive to adulthood, which is always good. And my second one is I can help you guys with your golf swing.
Oh.
Now, you don't know what sort of mud you're attempting to fold in or mold into clay here, okay, Jay?
Ross, I've got two things for you. One, I'm a PGA professional that teaches all day long. And two, I've only had one person that I've said, you know what, stick with fishing, and that was my father-in-law.
I like it.
Jay,
Can we ask where you're a pro at?
I'm a golf pro at Golf Tech.
Oh, so Golf
Here in
Tech.
Des Moines.
Okay. That's high dollar stuff.
And Jay, I've heard some really good things about Golf Tech. I've had some buddies that have come away from there and said, "Yeah, that got me going the right way." So Jay, do we have any other calls?
Yeah, we got.
All right, Jay, I got questions for you, pal. I really do. Genuine questions about how this all works, and yeah. So we be in touch with you, Jay. Thank you so much, and congratulations on keeping a kid alive.
That's right. That's a big accomplishment.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
You bet, buddy.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Cody. Cody, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Who's your Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo?
Good morning, guys. I live south of Knoxville, and since May, there's been a bridge out a mile from my house, and it added 40 minutes to my drive both ways every day. The bridge finally opened up this week, and it's nice to get that 40 minutes a day back.
Well, hold on, though, Cody. What I liked about that extra 40 minutes, you could listen to us an extra 40 minutes.
I listen anyway.
Okay.
Well, on YouTube and whatnot, so I definitely don't miss out on it in any way, but save gas and save time has been great the last few days.
Good stuff.
The bridge is back. Love it.
Bridge is back.
You ever had something like that, Trav? where like a road construction thing, it was like a
every
huge part of your
frickin' day to day. So I-80 is between my office and about 10 miles back has gone down to 2 lanes. It's a 4-lane road normally, heavily traveled. It's added, Ross, almost 15 to 20 minutes to my drive. And it's very frustrating because, and then I even tried, I'm going to stick around home a little bit longer. I'll leave later. And I get out there and it's still backed up. It's like, And then people don't understand the zipper rule because you've got 2 online.
Zipper merge is something. And you know, there are people that you explain it to and they go, no, you're supposed to merge as soon as you see that sign. And if you don't, you're the idiot. You're the jerk. You should merge as soon as you see the sign. And if you don't, you should stop in that open lane and wait for a car to allow you in. It's like, oh, man, we are just morons when it comes to trying to work together as a society for stuff.
We do have $90 for you from the Iowa Lottery. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. We'll be taking phone calls for another 10 minutes or so keep them coming in. You don't get a win, but sure, you got a win.
I know that. Every week I know I can't win. Every week I wake up every Friday and go, you know what you're not today, Ross? You're not a winner. And then I come on here. So I do have a woohoo, though, because yesterday we had my son Eli is a sophomore, and he goes to the Central Campus for his marine biology stuff. I've talked about marine biology before. He's going to be going to Fiji here in March. Had a really cool meeting last night about that process and what that looks like, and he's kicking butt and headed towards getting on that trip. There are things he can do to screw it up. The woohoo I have is yesterday we had an expo down at Central Campus and got to go down there and see what truly is the gem of the DMPS system, man. Down there, they are putting kids on career paths that are absolutely amazing. My son's doing marine biology this year, and so that's why he's going to get to go to Fiji. But I ran into my friend Patrick Dix. Do you remember Patrick? He was on TV 13 for a long time. Patrick's actually a member of the Des Moines School Board. And I know people are like, what? I love Patrick. I think he's a super smart guy. Our kids went to school together for a long time. His son is in the aviation program down there, Trav.
Really?
And his son is going to graduate with a pilot's license. Graduate high school with a pilot's license.
So can you imagine, did you go, Patrick, it's bad enough to teach your kid to drive. Are you going to go up in a plane? Are you going to go in a Cessna? Going to go 515-517-2303. Let's see if I can hit. There we go. Who's this? What's going on?
It's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Got an email from the school superintendent this week that my now 4th grader in this 3rd grade standardized testing scored top 2% in the entire state for math. So gets to be recognized at the next board meeting.
Wow.
That's very, very cool. Congratulations on that.
Okay, does he get the math skills from you or your wife?
My wife's a nurse and I'm in the law, so I don't know. I'm going to find his real dad, maybe.
It's a double mixture.
Combination.
There.
Just good genes. Good genes. Damn. All right, Chris.
Smart on you. Good job, Chris.
Good job, Chris. Congrats.
I'd say you married up, but it sounds like you're doing pretty well yourself there, my friend. So.
Oh, I still married up. Yep.
Good for you. That's the right
Thanks,
answer,
man.
bud. Right answer.
Thanks, Chris.
Good job.
515-517-2303. We had another call coming in. I don't know where it went to. Call back. You were calling in. Don't be alarmed by the AI voice that asked for your name. I always hated when the Iowa test of basic skills came back because I knew I was going to be in the bottom 30% of the state all the time. I never reached the plateau of 50%. I never reached the top plateau of 20%. I was like, Mr. Justice, did you fill in ovals again because you had ADHD? Yes, I did.
I didn't even know H was an option.
Did you see my artistic ability and what I was able to create with said grid with number 2 pencil where you could not go outside the lines? I was so focused on making sure that my number 2 pencil did not go outside the line because they had to, it may deter the score. Well, it might improve my score if I go afterwards. You were in the top 10%, weren't you? You were one of those guys in the top 10%.
You know what, man? I'm going to tell you something, though. I have this weird feeling about it. Even walking around Central yesterday, Travis, this would be my boo-hoo. I didn't do anything with it, man. I didn't do anything with it, and I should.
Look what you're doing right now.
I'm happy. I have a great work-life balance. I am so blessed in so many ways. I'm super duper happy with the life I've carved out. But there is a part of me that looks around and goes, I remember walking those halls with guys that went to Stanford and MIT and.
But are they as happy as you? That's what you have to ask yourself.
Trav, I have to constantly recenter myself and go, damn, I'm happy. Damn, I'm blessed. God has done amazing things in my life, and I'm super. If I would have followed any of those career paths, there's no way I'd be here right now doing this. And I've had so much fun doing radio in my life.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Kirk. Kirk, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Who's your Iowa Lottery weekly woo-hoo?
Well, a couple things. First, Ross, I think we're all glad that you're here because had you gone one of those career paths, we wouldn't have been able to listen to you over the years. So we're very grateful because you make a lot of people happy on a daily basis. So thank you for that.
He's buttering you up for $90 is what he's doing.
It's working.
No. Okay, so I've got a two-parter. One, I'm happy that the Dodgers are up 3-0 over the Brewers because the Brewers knocked my Cubs out. So that's first part. So I'm a Dodger fan for right now.
Love that.
Second woohoo is that Wednesday, my wife and I, we celebrated, we've been together 10 years, not married, but together 10 years. And yesterday, she cares so much about me that she asked me about the Cubs Shota Imanaga pitcher and what Jed Hoyer, the president of baseball operations, said in a press conference, and I didn't even know it happened yet because she saw it on social media and she follows the Cubs. So she's that committed that she loves the Cubs just as much as I do.
Kirk,
that is a love.
I got to be honest with you. That story went different than my brain said because when she said, she showed me how she loved me so much, I'm like, oh, Kirk got himself some. That's where my brain. He got some woo-hoos. He got some woohoo. That's where my brain was going.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of everything that went on.
Attaboy.
This could be a family show. This could be a family show.
See, do you realize,
this is not a family show.
Kirk, you just played to both of our emotions. Good job. You played to my ego and Travis's perversions. This is a long-time listener right here.
Yes, you get it, man. You get it.
Double star.
I'm committed to you guys.
Thanks, Kirk. Appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh. I don't know if this is a woohoo or boohoo for me.
Okay.
My wife's coming home today. She's been gone 2 weeks. I've been batching it in this place for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I miss her. I love her.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of getting used to her not being around. Honey, if you're listening, I can't wait to see you later this afternoon. But
Travis, listen, buddy, I think that a lot of us have been in that situation. Love your spouse, love your wife, love being around the person that you love, and it's nice to be loved. There is a thing about being independent. I don't know. Maybe it's a false sense of security.
Yeah, it's like almost euphoric because it's 2 weeks. Now, if you talk to me in 2 months, would I feel the same way? Probably not.
Kind of what I was going to get at here, because trust me, been there. And a couple of months, you go, no. You know what? We need in this life is somebody to share it with.
Companionship.
Yep. Yeah, dude, you've seen there's the movies. There's movies. This is the point of the movie. One of them is that movie about Christopher McCandless, Into the Wild. Remember that? It's the
I don't.
This is based on a true story. He was a young man that was kind of a trust fund baby in Massachusetts, come from a millionaire family, and one day decided he was going to give it all up. Donated the money to an orphanage, and went out on his own and decided, I'm going to go see the West. I'm going to go and see the world. And he traveled all the way across the United States, had some amazing adventures, wrote them all down in a journal, ended up in Alaska, and that's where things went bad. Apparently ate some berries that he thought were edible. They ended up being poisonous, and it ended up knocking him down and then killing him. And they found his journal. And the movie is fantastic. There's a book about it, and there's a movie. And in the journal, he says, man, I've had these amazing adventures. I had all this amazing things that I did in this time on Earth, and I didn't have anybody to share it with. I didn't get to come home at night and go, hey, let me tell you about the things I did. Or like my trip to Dublin, that would have been neat to go there and do.
But you had Courtney. But see, Courtney. You know where I'm judgmental? And if I offend somebody here, it's a you problem, not a me problem, according to Ross's logic, is that, and I know sometimes people have fertility problems, but when you get married and choose not to have kids, I don't understand that. I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because you understand once you have kids, you're like, oh, this is the greatest. And then you have grandkids, and you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. You are. I don't, it's there. I have great friends that have made that decision. I have some of my favorite cousins that have made those decisions, that they just looked around and said, man, I don't think that I'm built to be a parent. And good for them for knowing that. I mean, Travis, but
you never know.
I've said it that being a parent's the pinnacle of this existence. It's the coolest thing ever. I tell my kids all the time, like, of all the cool things I've done in my life, there's nothing like being your dad. Nothing. It's the neatest thing.
515-517-2303. We're going to take the break to decide who our winner is. Thanks to everybody who called on the weekly woohoo from the Iowa Lottery. And we'll announce our winner and talk about the Hawkeye Penn State game tomorrow in Iowa City when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's $25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
This is Darcy at Willis Chevrolet. When's the last time that you got new tires? From now till the end of November, we are offering buy 3 tires, get 1 for $1. Our extreme savings. Also, if you sign up for a GM credit card, you can get another $250 off the price of the 4 tires. So it's a win-win. Give us a call today, and we can price you a set of 4, or visit us online to set up an appointment at willischevy.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, I'm Bradley Ollinger here at Willis Nissan. Now until October, we are offering buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Take advantage of this deal right now before winter. Go online today at willisnissan.com to schedule your tire placement today, and we'll see you on the service drive.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
My wife is driving our Willis Automotive car back from Mississippi today. And, we talk about the service at Willis Automotive. We talk about the customer care, and I'm experiencing it firsthand, Ross. Yesterday, out of the blue, Ryan Gilmore, who was my salesperson, just called me to say, hey, how are you enjoying the car? Just want to know, knowing that I'm not going to buy a car for at least 5 more years.
Right.
He doesn't need to call me. He goes, hey, how's the car? I said, I don't know. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I've only seen it the day I picked it up. After that, I have not seen the car. He's like, what do you mean? I go, it's my wife's car, and she's had it in Mississippi, and she's been gone for 2 weeks. So it's got a good road test in. So all is good. She couldn't be happier. I'm anxious to. I made the first payment on it yesterday, so and I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, that's why he reached out.
Yeah, that's why he reached out. That's why he reached out. But no, it's that follow up. Just to, hey, are you enjoying your car? Is there any? And it did go, hey, is anything wrong with it? Because it's under warranty. If it just get it up here. And I'm like, I've never had anybody do that to me before, to say, hey, everything going okay? And just remember, I'm always here for you. So, and I think you're going to get that from every salesperson at Willis Automotive.
I've told you that great line there of sales sells the first car, customer service sells everyone after that. And I've learned that from my friends at Willis Automotive. As I've gone out there and started to use them for everything automotive related, that you feel it and you go, oh yeah. Yeah, they really do. They take care of folks. I got to tell you about something that happened to me when I was. Oh, look at that! Look at that. There's a testimony.
Abigail's probably like, "Can the car stay? Can the car stay?
Right. Can mom stay?"
I think that's. I actually had Anjanette go look at a house down there. I said, "Why don't you go look at this?"
I'm not surprised, buddy. I'm not
go
surprised.
Look at, not as a full time, but just hey, if we need a place to go.
Well, I thought Will bought the house with enough land so you guys could just build on the back of it, I thought.
Well, it's actually fairly close to there, but Anjanette called. She goes, it's a nice house, but needs a lot of work, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not in the mood for a lot of work right now.
No. That's why you build new on the. You've talked about this. Building new is cheaper than renovating anyway. So, Abigail. Here's what just right now. Just plant some trees in a quadrant in the back of the lot, and then it blocks off the house. You don't even have to see your dad in the morning. I'm working for you here, buddy. I'm trying the angles. So here's what happened to me when I was in Ireland. We went on that little Camino walk, and we walked up into this beautiful countryside, and we're in this tiny little town north of Dublin. And as I'm walking down the street, Abigail wrote, "Will bought the house, Ross."
She's right. She's right.
Well, you bought the house so that Dad could live in the backyard.
They bought
right?
the house.
So that Travis and Anjanette could live in the backyard, right? Anyway, I'm walking in this tiny little town, and this old Jeep-looking vehicle is driving towards me, but it's not a Jeep. It's got that boxy frame, that really cool utilitarian look to it. And it
Land
looks
Rover?
like it was a Land Rover. Travis, it was a Land Rover Defender.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
An older one or a newer one?
Oh, an old one.
Okay.
Old one. But again, shows their durability, shows all. It looked like a cool old Jeep. I tried to get a photo of it. Once I realized what it was, like it drove past, I'm like, oh my God, that was like an old Defender. And I tried to get a picture of it so I could send it to you, but I was too late on it. So, but trust me, I did see one.
I like it. Again, go see my buddy Ryan Gilmore at Willis. You'll be happy with the buying experience, and they got a wide selection of new and used vehicles. So go check them out. Our Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo winner is Chris. Chris, congratulations! You pick up a $90 prize pack from the Iowa Lottery. Chris's kid falls into the top 2% of math students on the standardized testing. I could never take a standardized test. I'm jealous of your son, or I'm assuming it was your son who is a math whiz. So congratulations with that, Chris. I'll be reaching out here momentarily.
I assumed it was his daughter.
Okay, either way, it's your kid.
Congratulations for your kid.
Yeah.
And your pride. That's really neat.
Of course, tomorrow, normally Tyler Kluver joins us at 7:30. He can't join us today. He's got a couple sick kids at home, but it's not going to prevent us from talking about the Iowa-Penn State game tomorrow. Lots of intriguing storylines. It's going to start tomorrow morning right away, Ross. James Franklin is doing an exclusive interview on ESPN tomorrow. So the timing of that is odd, right? You do it the day your team plays, and I know you've got college football, the game day and all that stuff. But he's coming out, before the game to grant his first interview since being fired at Penn State.
As a Hawkeye fan, I'm okay with that. As a Hawkeye fan, I'm okay with that. If I'm a Penn State fan, I'm irate about this. Because, Travis, those kids are going to watch that interview. Those guys are going to hear something. And even if he plays, even if he says everything right, even if he follows the PR playbook to a T, whatever he says is eventually going to be sliced up, and it's going to be cut up into tiny little things. And then those guys are going to spend part of their day on Saturday. As much as the interim coach is going to say, ignore the noise. We got to focus on beating Iowa.
If I'm a coach, if I am Terry Smith, I am calling him. I know we got a 6 o'clock game tomorrow, but we got meetings at 8:45. Be in the room at 8:45 so nobody can watch that interview live, right? I mean, you want to. Here, give me your phones. You get your phones back at the end of the game. We're having like zero distractions throughout this day.
Charlie says it's James Franklin. He won't say the right thing. That's a good point. This is a dude that he's got a little bit of that.
He's got an ego on him.
That Donald Trump verbal middle finger to him, where he from time to time does just say the thing that he wants to say, not the thing he's supposed to say. Interesting. Listen, I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it, see what he has to say. I can't. You nailed it, Travis. This is bad timing on him for a couple reasons. Number one, your team. Yeah, for the first thing I said, you're going to be a bit of a distraction on a day when these guys need to show up and play a really good football game, and they have to be focused. And I think that even a little bit of distraction from that can hurt. So as a Penn State fan, I'm pissed off about that. But more as like a timing issue for the emotion of all of this. Those first couple weeks after getting fired, your ass is red.
Yeah,
your ass
you may
is
say
red.
the right things, but deep down, you're pretty pissed off.
You can try to say the right things, but man, those other things slip out.
Yeah, because
those other things show.
We assume because you're going to get $50 million that you're perfectly okay with getting fired. Trust me, the money's the benefit, but you would much rather have a job.
It's your ego.
Yes.
Call it what you want to call it. It's pride. It's your ego. And I can't imagine James Franklin's going to go on there and go, it was all me. It was all me. If I just would have ran these plays instead of that plays, if I just would have coached this thing instead of that thing, if I wouldn't have said, I doubt he's going to show up and go, all right, all the accountability comes right back here. My gut tells me he's going to light some fires. And Charlie, thanks for pointing that out, because I think you're right. Holly says he's got to look for a job. Is that part of what he's doing here, Trav? You think that he's out there kind of resumeing?
Wouldn't you? I mean, he doesn't need a resume. The guy's going to coach again.
Yeah, interviewing, right?
Yeah, you're like, you want to show, hey, I'm humble. I have some humility. I'm hireable. And there will be more jobs, even in the Power Four, come open where people go, this guy, he's did it at Vanderbilt. He took over a shitstorm at Penn State and was able to build that up. We'll take James Franklin. So, I think it's smart on his part, but the timing of it is just weird for Penn State. I'm with you. If I'm a Penn State fan, I'm not happy about this guy getting on TV the morning of a game where you have till 6 o'clock at night to consume all this. It's not like they're kicking off at 11.
Right. And if you're the Penn State, who's the Penn State interim coach? What's his name? Bob Smith?
No, it is Terry Smith.
Yeah, I almost jokingly said Terry Smith, and it is really Terry Smith.
It is Terry. It is really Terry Smith.
That's another, you nailed it there, Trav. If it was an 11 a.m. kickoff, it'd be real easy to be, hey, guys, we're busy.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Yeah.
We're this is out of sight, out of mind, and you can consume that on Sunday morning when you wake up and we don't have anything to do, or we're traveling back home. You guys can watch what your old coach had to say about you. It's going to be really hard all day tomorrow to say, all right, guys, just tune it out. Tune what out? There's a minor distraction right there. Tune it out, guys. We're not watching any TV today. We're not watching anything. They already know that James Franklin's going to be doing it. Yeah.
Do you expect Iowa to win tomorrow? And to me, this is a toss-up game. I want to believe that if Iowa keeps it close, that it wins. It all depends on how Penn State comes out. I mean, it's not like Penn State doesn't have freaking talent.
Exactly what I've been saying. Right, man. So, Trav, I am less confident today than I was on last Sunday. Last month, before I heard this news about James Franklin, I'm less confident now because I think that they were in tumult. Things were tumultuous.
Yes.
They were disrupted. I liked the chaos that was coming out of the Penn State sideline. As a Hawkeye fan, I liked it. I went, oh, yeah, Hawks are going to beat this team. And then we saw what happened with UCLA. When you've got some dudes that can play ball and a coach shows up and says, hey, you know that thing that wasn't working? We're going to forget about that. We're going to forget about those things that weren't working. You guys go out there and get after it. It worries me a little bit. Again, dude's hitting it. Penn State is going to be starting a quarterback that I think had somebody put on there yesterday. He's thrown 10 passes.
And he's going against one of the better defenses in the country.
In what should be an electric environment. So that definitely plays to the Hawkeyes' advantage. But what we're talking about here is the Franklin aspect of it. It is, will they be able to respond? Which we've seen. You called it when UCLA fired Foster. You said, hey, sometimes on the back end of these things, these kids figure it out, and these kids are able to play free, and that can happen.
And the difference is you had a coach go, oh, we need to shake this thing up. Not only did we fire the head coach, we're going to fire the offensive coordinator. We're going to just totally do something. And so usually you don't see a change in philosophy. And we heard Kirk Ferentz yesterday talk about he doesn't expect a change of philosophy because I don't know if Penn State has to change its philosophy. I mean, UCLA for the first couple games was horrible. I mean, you lost to UNLV. You lost to really bad teams. Then you go, we need to just blow this whole thing up. Penn State doesn't need to blow it up. Now, you do have what I do like is you have an unproven quarterback coming into Kinnick Stadium at night. Iowa's won 6 in a row when it comes to night games at Kinnick Stadium. That goes back to 2022. But it's not like but Iowa is Iowa, meaning, you look at its explosive play chart. It's not like Iowa has a lot of explosive plays. They're going to ground and pound. They've gone for 200-plus yards on the ground 3 times this year, Ross. 10 times in Tim Lester's tenure at Iowa. I mean, if Iowa goes for 200 on the ground tomorrow, and Penn State's not great against the run, give up about 144 yards a game on the ground, Iowa goes for 200 on the ground tomorrow. I like their chances. If they have to pass to win, I'm not liking it. But if they can go put it on repeat, control the clock, and pound the rock, I like what they have here.
And Gronowski doesn't steer it into the ditch, which has been the role of the Iowa quarterback for a very long time. Don't make big mistakes. Yeah, you're right. They win that football game, and we all come away happy. And Kluver and I are having an awesome conversation tomorrow night with a bunch of fans about the rest of this season. Because if they do beat Penn State, a game that at the beginning of the year, because of those preseason rankings and prognostications, we all had put an L by this game.
I'm guilty of that. I am 100% guilty of that.
Me too. And it was like, well, they can't beat Penn State. Hell yeah, you can beat Penn State. And if you beat Penn State, what's that mean for the rest of the year? Bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is looking good now.
which is kind of what I like about this new formula with college football playoff, and especially if you go to expansion, it lets you falter early and build back up, right? I mean, because I'm not saying Iowa's going to go unbeaten the rest of the way. They got some tough games to come up. Oregon's on the horizon. USC's on the horizon. I get that. But you go, oh. And that's why I was talking earlier about, well, you could get to that Nebraska game, and that something could be on the line for that. So, yeah, I mean, just don't turn the ball over. If you can get one or two explosive plays, that's great, but just
don't need them. You're right. You nailed it. That's not what your offense isn't built on explosive plays. Don't turn the ball over. Get a couple of special teams plays.
Penn State 15th in the Big Ten against the rush. Iowa number 1 in the Big Ten against the rush.
15th in the Big Ten against the rush.
Mm-hmm.
Man, things aren't right there.
Especially for Penn State, right?
That's what I'm saying. That team should not be 15th in the league against the rush, especially with who they've played. I mean, that if their schedule had been a bunch of world beaters and the top teams in the league and some of the top teams in the country, then it'd be like, oh well, yeah, but give it time to shake out. No, they've played some dogs. Huh?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, they have played dogs. Wins were against Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. Your losses, UCLA, Oregon, and Northwestern.
I mean, you take Oregon out of that mix, that's not an impressive schedule at
No.
all. At all.
No.
And they're 15th in the league against the rush. Against not just Travis, don't just compare defensive rush stats to defensive rush stats. Look at how good Iowa's offensive line has been. In pass protection, I saw a stat the other day that the offensive line is number 1 in basically hurries for their quarterback and pressure on the quarterback. They're the best offensive line in pass protection. And you're running the football well.
Here's why controlling the clock also falls into it. Penn State 18th in the Big Ten in time of possession. 18th in the Big Ten in time of possession. They're at 26-37. That's 127th nationally. Iowa is 5th in the Big Ten and 24th nationally in time of possession. 32 minutes a game.
That would be an interesting one to watch.
Let's use that benchmark. If Iowa has the ball 30 to 32 minutes tomorrow, I like their chances.
Okay.
I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be we always got to be careful in predictions, right? But that's people want to know what you think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. Iowa's not going to blow out Penn State, and I don't think Penn State's going to blow out Iowa. If this game is, again, you're going to go, duh, Trav, it's an Iowa game, is a 3 to a 7-point game, that's what I expect. And that's where Iowa wants it.
A win. I don't care if it's 48-45 or 6-3 or 2-0. If the Hawkeyes are on the winning end of it, I'm going to be really happy tomorrow, and that's going to give me a lot of hope for the rest of the season. And honestly, even if they do lose tomorrow, Trav, I think that my brain is instantly going to be like, that's okay. I had this game as a loss anyway, and Penn State does have a ton of talent. We don't know what this quarterback's going to do. I hope it all depends on what it looks like. It all depends on what it looks like. Because if they lose and it looks awful and it's bad clock management and there's questionable play calling, then we're going to come on the air and we're going to go, even though they lost to Penn State, fire Kirk. Win at all, no matter what it looks like. And it's going to be like, all right, we just picked one up. Well, that was one we didn't have in our hand early in the season, and now we just got a win over Penn State. Nice. And Penn State doesn't even know who their damn coach is going to be. Yeah.
It's not going to be Terry Smith at the end of the year. I promise you that.
It's not going to be Curt Cignetti.
No. Well, he still has a $15 million buyout, so if they still want to go after him, they could do that. Watch it be somebody we don't even expect. Watch it just be somebody, and who knows what other jobs come open by the end of the year that people go, I think I'll take this job instead of Penn State. people ask me if I'm going to the game tonight. I had to think twice. Iowa State and Creighton play in. I like that they're not doing a secret scrimmage, Ross. You know how some teams do the secret scrimmage? Creighton says, "Oh, we're going to open the doors, charge admission, and make money off said scrimmage." That's the smart thing to do. I'm not going to the game. Because it is a scrimmage, and you don't take anything away from scrimmages.
I saw somebody say, "Are you going to the game tonight?" And I thought they meant Nebraska,
Minneapolis.
And I was like, I don't think he's going to go up there. And then I saw somebody else say, "Trav, make sure you tell us how ISU looks tonight."
Yeah.
And in my brain, I'm like, they're off this week. I'm in that much football mode right now that I didn't even think about there being these exhibition basketball games.
But that's where we are with basketball, right? We're like, oh, we can make money off exhibition games? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Open the doors.
Again, they need the cash. They need your money. So if they can charge you for parking and charge you for some stuff and squeeze some dimes out of you for your entertainment dollar, damn it, why not? Why not?
I wouldn't be surprised if half that arena is Iowa State fans tonight because they don't have a football game tomorrow. It's a close enough. I mean, if you're in Des Moines, Ames, it's a 2-hour drive. It's not like it's a very tough ticket to get.
And again, not all Iowa State fans are in Ames.
No,
you got a lot.
There's a lot in Council Bluffs in Western Iowa. A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
So you could. I didn't thought about that either, Trav. Again,
but the weird thing about that dynamic, though, is a lot of Iowa and Iowa State fans in Western Iowa are also Creighton fans because there's that proximity that you didn't hate Creighton growing up, so you kind of like both, right?
Didn't McDermott have a lot to do with that?
I think Dana did too. I mean,
having Iowa State fans have a soft spot in their heart,
maybe
for Creighton.
Well, I think I'm talking Western Iowa, where it was easy to just go to a game because you go to the Civic Auditorium. You're like, hey, let's go do a night out in Omaha. We can go to a Creighton game, and they don't compete against us anyway. They're in the Missouri Valley, and in the Big East. You're like, oh, we can be a fan of both. But tonight will be interesting to see what the fan makeup is. You got big plans this weekend? I know you've got the black and gold. I've got Scare Away Cancer, so we're going to try to raise some money. And if you're unfamiliar with, if you could do me a favor, I don't ask for this much, but if you go to scareawaycancer.org, click on the donate tab, all the money, and we help families in Iowa, we help families in Nebraska, but it is a straight line, write a check for transportation, for house payments, for electrical payments, you name it. We help people out, and you'll see a little bit about the organization that I'm a part of, scareawaycancer.org, and that's where I'm going to be tomorrow night. But you're going to be right there in that chair with Tyler Kluver doing the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Yeah, probably going to watch the game at least the first couple of quarters, maybe the first half at Dad's house with the family. That'll be a fun time. And then, come home, watch the second half, watch the Hawkeyes seal up the victory, and then jump on for a few hours with Kluver. Johnny just said it. These 2 hours have flown by. This was a fast week for me.
It was a very fast week, and it was a fun week. I want to thank Joe Woodley, who came on with us. I want to thank Bill Fenley, who came on with us. I want to thank Todd Stepsis, who came on with us. Had a lot of good conversations this week, and we want you to have a fun and safe weekend as well. Make sure tomorrow, right after the game, it's the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios with Ross Peterson and Tyler Kluver talking about what we hope is an Iowa win over Penn State. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Bye-bye, everybody.
It's Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
It's October at Willis Nissan, and the savings this month are scary good. Lease the stylish Nissan Sentra or the versatile Nissan Kicks for payments so low, we call them fun size. And that's not the only trick up our sleeves this month. Right now, you can get 0% APR on Murano and Pathfinder, or take advantage of customer cash. All those treats, and we won't even make you tell us a joke. Visit us online at willisnissan.com or stop into our showroom today.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience Links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.